In this video, I want to talk a little bit about our course calendar for this semester and also where exactly we can go ahead and find a lot of the different materials that we need for our class. So, first off, let's take a look here at the calendar and talk about where to find it. You can access a page that looks like this that has our full course calendar by clicking on the calendar navigation menu over here on the left side of Blackboard. Now, when it pulls up this window, this is going to show us what is going to be happening on every single day of the semester for the entire semester. So we should know right now exactly what our semester should look like. Okay? This shows us everything about like when homework assignments are going to be assigned, when are they due, when are exams, when do we have days off to do like review, when is it that classes are going to be canceled, like all that information is listed right here. Okay. Now you'll see that this is presented to us in a typical 4-day-a-week calendar, because if this was a face-to-face class, we would be meeting 4 days a week. And so that's how I've set up the schedule. Now, I think that one of the most important things with online classes is making sure that you stay on schedule. So that really means that, if you look here in our first 2 days of class, we need to make sure that we have covered section 1.1. And that means that we should have watched the videos on section 1.1, taken notes on section 1.1, and done some practice via worksheets on section 1.1. So there's a lot of things to do within those few days. But we'll talk about where we can find all of that information and all those different files associated with getting these things done. But as you look over this calendar, make sure that you're really seeing kind of what's going to be required of you and making sure that you're able to stay on pace with the concepts and topics that are here. All right, so let's take a look over here to figure out where am I going to find, lecture notes and these lecture videos and these practice worksheets. Where are those, Kyle? Well, we'll see that over here on the side menu, we have the Unit 1 through Unit 4 materials folders, and those are going to correspond to the different exams. So in preparing for exam 1, I would go here to click on the Unit 1 materials. Now, when I look at this, I'm going to see a couple different items pop up here. I have a folder of all the lecture guides and lecture notes that we're going to have. All of our videos are located here. Our worksheets are located here. And then I have several other files. I have some important symbols to know that we'll talk about. There's a formula sheet we're going to be allowed to use on the first exam. There's some review problems, a study guide, and a whole bunch of other info related to that first test. Let's take a look here at least the lecture guides and lecture notes. What are these and how do they work? If I click on this, you'll see that I have lecture guides and lecture notes for every single section that we talk about within this first unit. And when I open up a guide, you'll see here that a guide has a whole bunch of different words in it, but that many problems seem like they're not finished, right? There's like a template there, but things aren't finished or filled in. And this is what I would recommend that you go and take notes on. Even though this is an online class and it's tempting to just say, I'm only going to watch the videos, you shouldn't do that. You gotta write things down. You gotta think through the problems. You gotta write things out by hand. It's really important. Now, I recommend that you utilize these files to do this. You can print these out. You can write on them electronically, whatever happens to work for you. But this is nice because it helps to kind of structure everything, saves us on a whole lot of writing. In addition to that, though, I also have lecture notes, which provide us with a nice filled-in copy where I have all the pictures and everything labeled and all the problems filled in and everything's done and explained. So this can be really helpful because sometimes in the videos, maybe an explanation that's given doesn't make a whole lot of sense and you want to look at something else that I have here. Sometimes I might say, hey, example 5 is going to be a problem for you to try on your own, and the solution is in the notes. And so here's where you could see where that solution is. Okay. Something else that's going to be important, of course, is, if I'm going to be taking notes, where are those lecture videos? Well, they're right here. And they're separated out again by each of the different sections. And if I click into the sections, you can see that I've broken them up into different video segments. This hopefully will make it a lot easier for you to rewatch certain portions of the lecture if you need to kind of go back and recap any of the ideas that were presented there. Then we have worksheets. Worksheets are not for a grade, but they are there to help you practice the concepts that we've talked about within a specific section. So after, say, watching section 1.1, you'll notice there are a lot of things to practice. I have a specific set of practice just on vocab, a specific set of practice just on using simulations, and kind of a generic, all-encompassing mixture of things in this 1.1 worksheet. Again, these worksheets kind of come with a bunch of blanks. Things are not fully filled out. And then I also provide you with fully worked out solutions. So you can go ahead and see how I went through problems and try to think about how you might go through those same problems as well. So again, it's really, really important that you practice with the worksheets. If you're not practicing with the worksheets, you're not going to be prepared for exams. You're not going to be prepared for doing homework assignments. You're going to find those things are really kind of long and difficult to get through. So make sure you're practicing, and the Unit 1 folder contains all the stuff for Unit 1, and the Unit 2, 3, 4 folders contain things for their associated exams. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of where to find information for this class, and of course if you have any further questions on this, feel free to poke around and of course email me with questions that you might have as well.